Hello, and thank you for joining me. It is International Women's Day. So happy International Women's Day 2020 to all you women out there. Here's just a little background for those of us who don't know about the origins of International Women's Day. I've heard many people ask what's the point of it and why it is celebrated. Very quickly, in 1905, about 15,000 women had a march and a protest in New York. And the things they were protesting against were for long working hours, low pay, lack of voting rights. And in 1913, Russia set the 8th of March trend. During the war with their men away, the women found themselves dealing with food shortages and the government wasn't listening to them. So in 1975, that was the first official time that the UN recognized this day. And in 1996, the UN actually began to adopt a theme for International Women's Day. And the first ever theme was celebrating the past and planning for the future. This year, 2020, therefore, I think the theme this year is Each for Equal. And on their website, what that means is that we can actively choose to challenge stereotypes, fight bias, broaden perceptions, improve situations, celebrate women's achievements. And this 2020 theme draws on collective individualism. I got that term from their website. And what they mean by that is that each individual is part of a whole, and each of our actions, behaviors, mindsets can have an impact on the larger society. And I think even in some of my past reflections, I have mentioned that man is not an island. We live as a community. Whatever you do has to affect somebody else in one way or the other, and we should always be thinking about how we affect others and what impact we have in their lives, whether it is positive or negative, and try to do more of the positives. So in celebrating women today, we recognize that a lot of progress has been made since that 1909, but we also know that there is still a long way to go. And there is the need to continue to fight against abuse, child marriages, rape, sexual exploitation. Um, and we are aware that women still remain the highest victims of trafficking. And in some parts of the world, women are still not allowed education. And that is where people like Malala become influential with their foundation. So, to any men watching who kind of question what's the point of International Women's Day when we don't have an International Men's Day, I would like to say if you have wives, mothers, sisters, daughters, or not, please look at this day uh, more positively and celebrate the women in your life. Just reassure them of how fair you see the world and their role in it. Let them know that you're not one of the biased types, but that you see and respect them as an equal human being like yourself with the same rights, and that you're not treating them as a second class citizen, either at home or in the extended family, in case you have other women outside your immediate family. But to us women, this day is not an opportunity to try to prove a point to our men or the men in our lives, to try and prove how tough we can be, how better we probably are at doing what men do. That is not the point of this day, really. And it is not about spousal competition, it's not about vengeance, it's not about malice, it's not about little things like complaining about our spouses, maybe to the wrong people, raising our voices during an argument, being disrespectful, using abusive language. And I remember years ago when I was working in Cameroon, International Women's Day, a lot of people celebrated it positively, but I also used to witness some things, some really terrible things. Like some women thought this was a passport day to just leave their homes and go out and be silly, drink, get drunk, just be stupid, you know, lose their dignity. There are just so many things that some women in some parts of the world or some countries just do that do not reflect what the International Women's Day is all about and defeats the purpose of its celebration. So what I am hoping is that we can more and more women can learn to be looking within themselves and try to say, what can I do to improve either within myself or within my family or within my community, instead of always thinking about vengeance. And as women, we must admit that we sometimes poor at supporting even each other. The sisterhood is gone. It's not strong. It doesn't quite exist because we're not there for each other. We keep fighting one another. And a lot of these fights and arguments, believe me, these arguments are usually over a man. Come on now, we are in 2020. Fighting over a man, it doesn't matter whether it is a married man, a boyfriend, a partner. Women should stop fighting each other, and especially not over a man. I know that it is a broad topic to go into. I'm not going to dwell on it too much, but gone are the days where women fought each other. We should stop this. We should stop gossiping. We should stop being conniving. We should stop stirring problems among people. So we should kind of just look at the journey from that 1919, be appreciative of what the women before us did, those who didn't have rights to vote, those who didn't have right to 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 work and so on, and see what they've done for us to this up to this point, and what we can do to build on what they've done and all of those foundations that they've laid. So I can only suggest and say, we should be patting each other on the back, encouraging one another, saying, well done. When a sister does something that's great, be encouraging, lifting each other up. We should be meeting more regularly to plan uh, productive projects in the community, see how we can improve ourselves and our children, you know. We should review how we carry ourselves and so on, And I think it's only when we start to do these things that we can start feeling happy and feeling some fulfillment in our lives. I want to share with you that from my personal experience, the happiest women that I know or that I have met are not necessarily God fearing nor atheist. They're not necessarily married nor single. They're not necessarily the highest earners. They're not the ones rolling in massive and the most expensive cars. They're not the ones wearing designer outfits, golden jewelries, uh, having the most beautiful makeup, if you like, or they're not necessarily the ones captured on the cover of magazines, looking fit and beautiful. In my experience, the happiest women are those who have actually made a choice and decided that they will love themselves and be happy. They have learned to leave their past behind them. They've worked on themselves, worked on their self-esteem. They don't cry over spilled milk. They do not play victim. They don't have self-pity. um, they've learned to admit their weaknesses. They find positives in their negative experiences. um, they have moved past their pain, anger, bitterness, tears. They're very forgiving, loving, generous. These are the happier women. They don't need validation from anyone. They know that um, they don't need to throw shade on somebody else's character to look good or to feel better. They know who they are. So as I am drawing through my conclusion of this video, I want to talk to women of all ages out there. I'll start with the smallest of women. If you're a 6-month-old baby girl, I want to say welcome into the world. Uh, it's a world of battles. It's got its challenges ahead, but remember, you're still your parents' little angel and just enjoying sucking your bottle for now. If you are a 6-year-old girl, remember you always be your parents' beautiful little princess and enjoy your childhood as much as you can. If you're 16, I would say be confident, be kind and loving. Avoid unhealthy relationships and friendship groups. Know that you are beautiful inside and out. So show that beauty through your kindness and your deeds, and not only by your words. If you are a 36-year-old woman, I would say take it one day at a time. Go slow. Learn to be forgiving. Forgive those who hurt you. Learn to love yourself wholly. Above all, be you. Be you and not somebody else. Avoid competition. Run your race and stay in your lane. You will not go wrong. If you are a 56-year-old woman, give wise advice. Avoid interfering in anyone's life. If you're 86, enjoy being a grandmother, a godmother, sharing words of wisdom through your experience and encouraging the younger women. And so to all of us women and all you women out there, we have so much within us to give the world. We have natural gifts that the Lord gave us from birth, which we can use to make the world a better place. So let us use this 8th of March, to do good in the world, to contribute money and send girls to school, to feed the poor, to be there for one another instead of fighting. We have bigger issues to deal with out there in the world than to stay having to have petty fights with one another. So that is it really. I just thought I should do a quick International Women's Day thing. So I will end here by just thanking you for watching. I'm always very grateful, ever so grateful that you are sacrificing a couple of minutes of your time in your day to watch what I've got to say. So keep loving, continue to be thankful, be forgiving, and always keep smiling no matter what you're going through. So I will appreciate if you like, share, subscribe if you haven't yet done so, and have a lovely day. God bless. Peace to you.